In the last episode, the Everwatch Rangers returned to Phandalin, and Nundro Rockseeker was reunited with his brother Gundren. The brothers thanked him deeply for their help, offering great rewards in the future, and the town of Phandalin paid them handsomely for their service. The next day, Malba received a number of letters from home, begging him to return and save his people. Acting quickly, he packed his bags and headed for Helm's Hold, but not before sending a letter of his own, recommending a replacement. After that, it was a short stint of downtime activities, lots of talking to people, and a flashback of a sort of our new character, Cyran's last mission with the Hold before this point. Anything anyone needs to clear up before we really dive in for the evening?
How do you spell Cyran's name?
Don't worry about it.
Because in the document that I can't find right now, but I typed it like 4 different ways throughout the document before realizing that it was none of those ways.
There we go. Does he have a last name?
I haven't picked one yet.
Cyran. Oh, I thought it was an S.
I'll make one, just haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Cool. Last names are rough. That looks literally the dumbest shit I've ever seen, Puffer, that you thought those are the spelling.
I thought it was like one of those 3, basically.
All right, so now that Slytherin has joined your party.
Oh, I haven't even met up with them yet.
Now that Sarah has joined our party.
Well, that would be interesting.
I'm killing Fitz today. He's going to commit suicide, and then I'm going to play Sarah.
All right, let me see. There's a couple more things
Probably
that we need to do before actually Cyran gets to town.
Of course there is.
I asked Puffer to remind me of 3 things. Do you remember what they were?
I do remember what they were.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to hear them?
Yes, please.
Bodies, maul, glass.
Okay, that's right.
Nailed it.
Okay, so.
I don't know what any of these things mean.
I know what one of them is.
I know what one of them is.
I know what the mall is.
That's not one.
Thanar,
Hello.
where are you this morning? Because it is, in fact, morning.
How long has it been? How many days has it been since my drinking competition?
Oh, it's
Like the day
been
after, all I'm wondering.
yeah, it's not been long enough. You're
It's the day after?
yeah, let's go with that. That'll do.
Okay, Thanar's still in his bed.
Okay. How bad do you feel right now?
Here I wouldn't know because I've never been hungover in my life.
Okay. Roll me a
Answer is really bad. Really bad.
roll me a con save.
I remember.
Okay.
Not that bad.
Alright,
Somebody
so-
played. Go have fun with your drinking at your.
He
campus
just
'cause he's a
feels
day drinker.
really out of it.
Yeah.
Physically, he's fine. He just doesn't feel with it, man.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let me.
But if he had to, he could do it again.
Okay. Good.
Oh my god!
Does he want to? Is the question.
All right. So
Once he got into it.
you're feeling okay. Little woozy still. Maybe a bit of a headache in the back end. You probably don't want a greasy diner breakfast. But you're getting up. What does a morning look like for our dear friend Thanar?
For dear friend Thanar? Oh. I think he's just gonna bumble downstairs and be grumpy until he's had a lot of coffee.
Okay.
So, like normal.
As you get out of bed and go through your morning routine, you bump into your pack, and something rolls out of it that you have forgotten you had.
Ooh. I know what it is. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah. It is a mall. by which I mean like a long stick with a big round end on it with some spikes. And it is beautifully crafted. There we go. That's better. It is beautifully crafted, and the head is of brass. The handle is made of some sort of a white metal, intricately carved. And you remember that when you were in Wave Echo Cave, which is where Malba found this item, Fitz had taken it and sort of messed with it a little bit, and it had started glowing. But you never asked him to do anything with it.
I honestly, let me look through my notes.
Do what?
I don't even remember finding this, but that's okay.
Yeah, Malba found it after you
He
walked
has a
through.
headache, man, but he can't expect to remember much right now.
No, that's fine. But yeah, as you grip it, you feel that it has some form of potential.
Well, because Thanar doesn't know how to do it himself.
Mhm.
Does he? I guess he wants to know what it is first before he attempts to do it. So, in classic Thanar style, I'm going to walk downstairs just grumpy, pissed, hungover. I'm just going to be carrying this maul.
Okay.
And so I just walk into the main area where all the tables are, and I assume there's people sitting around there.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna walk up to an empty table and just smash it down on the table. Not to break it, just like dropping it.
Yeah, it's like this is not.
And wait for Fitz.
Okay. So how late did you get up this morning?
I mean, late for Thanar is like 8, so we'll make it 8.
Sounds good. 8 exactly, because you as a soldier are very punctual.
Try hard.
So like, yeah, even when you're late to something, you're on exact time. Fitz, how about yourself? How is your morning going?
See, I thought I'd have to jump on him for once because he was hungover, but 8 a.m.? No, not happening.
Fair.
So, he'd probably wake up and wander down like 45 minutes, hour later.
Mm-hmm.
Still in classic Fitch ritual in the pajamas. He takes off the hat, though. He has dignity, just not very much. I think he'd probably wander over and find the tallest man in the room, who happens to be Thanar.
Just tug on his pant leg. All right.
Thanar
Someone
looks
a
down
miniature
disdainfully.
staircase to try and like climb onto his chair. Do they have like booth seats yet for Fitz? Has he been here long enough?
I mean,
They've accommodated for Nosha.
I hate you so much.
No accessibility standards are very important.
Nosha, you monster.
Nosha.
So yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, what's his name? Toblin Stonehill will see you come down and bring a bar stool over to the table, which is just
Fair.
like it's a little bit taller than the standard chairs, and it brings you up to like standard height for a human.
Nice. Hey.
Thanar just looks at him disdainfully. Not disdainfully, just grumpily.
Wow.
It's been a rough night.
Have fun?
Too much. Do you think you could take a look at this for me? I have no idea what it is, and I don't want to figure it out. I'm gonna shove them all towards him.
Sure thing.
Thanks, Fitz.
He's kind of accepted the fact that this is his life
Yeah.
as the resident mage.
So, ordinarily, what you have been doing when you roll an Arcana check against an item like this is sort of searching through your memory for things that you've heard of before, stuff like that. As you sort of look over this, roll me an Arcana check. Oh. Okay, so this has some interesting properties to it. It casts essentially a torch light to it. So when you activate it, it sheds light in an area like a torch. And as you sort of look over it and you examine it closely, you see that printed along the shaft of this maul, just sort of inlaid in white metal into the white stone that makes the hilt, makes the shaft of this thing, is the word Lightbringer.
Isn't that from Lord of the Rings?
And this is what it
Oh
is.
shit.
How's it loaded? Is there a picture with it?
Yeah, that's a funny picture.
Oh, there
man.
it goes. Honey, that's. I thought it was. It looks lollipop.
So help me. I can't make anything nice for you boys.
I made something horrible that I never got to use. Do you want to see it?
Yes?
I was going to use it at some point, and I've just accepted that I never will. Hold on, let me find it.
Cool.
Ah,
So anyway,
gotta figure out how to put this in.
that is what you find. There it is.
Cool.
It basically just has light properties. As far as I can tell.
Well, now that Malbaw's gone, nobody's gonna have trouble seeing in the dark. Woo!
Yeah, off in the distance, Malba becomes sickly burned.
He starts sobbing.
Maybe he just found out his wife's dead. That could be why.
That is not necessarily canonical. I have a deep.
In fact, it probably isn't. But
I have a deep and rich backstory for what happened over there, which will become apparent only if anybody cares in the future.
At what point in the future does he die, is my question. How much time do we have?
Oh, that's not for you to know.
Wow!
No, you don't know that. All right, so now Thanar knows what that weapon is. He may attune to it if he wishes. Remember, you may only ever be attuned to 3 magic items at a time.
is it a mace or a maul?
I would have to look up the very specific D&D differences between the two.
Maul 2d6, two-handed. Mace 1d6, one-handed.
What does it say?
It's
a mace.
You referred to it as a mace on here. Okay.
Yep, it is a
Just
mace.
wanted to make sure because you said it was a maul earlier. Gotcha.
My apologies.
Nope, you're good. Give me a moment while I put this in, but other people are welcome to continue.
Yes, please. Fitz, what are you doing? Now let's assume that unless you have something to say to Thanar specifically, breakfast is concluded.
Okay, then that's what I was gonna... So when was it... How long did the dude say until... Is it Cyran? It's not Cyran, like you spelled it?
So you don't know... First, a couple of things. Number one, you know that a new guy is coming.
Okay, I thought he said how long.
About a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You don't know his name.
That's key. You don't know his name.
Which is true in both
You
character
also don't
and
know his gender.
Don't know his gender.
Yeah, don't misgender him.
Is he androgynous? Like,
Don't worry about it.
That's something we're gonna have to figure out in roleplay.
this is gonna be such a...
I got
wild
plans for
adventure.
roleplay. I hope you're ready for him.
You're the worst
I'm
person.
not. I'm just gonna be
I don't think
mean to
I
you.
am. Dude, I had a head injury. Come on.
Don't worry about it.
So, what would Fitz do after breakfast?
I think. Let me see. I don't think I had. I want to go find the. Would the dwarves want to talk to me about their stupid business plan?
I mean, they did ask you to help them with their notes.
I want to find the dwarves.
Okay.
And so that's what Fitz would be doing.
I mean, you go get changed first.
Yeah, I guess he want the big hat when he's on a business meeting.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd
It's
go.
definitely something you have to ask, because I don't know if he would always get changed.
So
That's fair. Well, it's a business meeting. He has to look his best. So
let's say that it's been a little while since. Let's say that some of this stuff is happening outside of time, and the
and he's not drunk as shit.
well, no. We're sort of skipping around in the timeline a little bit. What's happening? They've been here for a couple of weeks now, the two brothers, and they have essentially taken up residence in the sleeping giant. Like, there are some rooms upstairs. They're not super clean. They're certainly not nearly as well kept as the Stonehill Inn, but it's close to the bar. So they've been sleeping in the sleeping giant. So that is where you would be able to find them.
That is where I would go.
Okay.
Oh, Gear, I just realized, can I get Malbuz's sheet back? Because I have all my notes on his sheet.
Sure.
Thanks. Because I just put them in, like, the second page. And, yeah. Thank you.
Yep, no worries.
Other side note, I have no idea how to put this to Roll20.
What is it?
The Lightbringer, I don't know how to add 1d6 radiant if it's glowing.
Oh,
But I just
Set
put it
it
as
as-
like damage 2 and do 2d6.
yes. Wait,
Okay.
2d6?
One for the normal damage, and then one for the extra radiant.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Yeah, I would think so.
Like two separate weapons, glowing thing and regular thing.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I would
probably
do.
easier.
That's what I usually do when a weapon does two different types of damage.
Okay, I'll do that.
that's what mine does in Scar's campaign for one-handed and two-handed hammer.
I have.
So, Fitz, you go get changed, and then you head over to talk with the dwarves.
Can't believe you still have Malbuzz token on the map.
I do?
Yeah.
A title card, by the way. I don't know if you're on something else, but
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, let
On
me
the title, I said map, not title card.
on the
but-
title card. Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
I will
Phandalin.
I will change that when it becomes appropriate.
You should have just drawn X's over him for this session.
Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Can I do that?
oh god, my work.
Once, one of our neighbors accidentally killed a squirrel by throwing a rock at it, and so we glued a rock to its head and like put X's over its eyes, and we gifted it to her. As it was a stuffed animal. I should clarify that stuffed animal, but
Feels bad,
and
man.
then her dog ate it. This dead.
It's such a shame that
Good.
Malboz's dead.
Such a shame that Malbuzz already died. It's been like a week, dude.
He died on the road. He never even got to see his family.
Oh my god.
His wife got home and she killed him. It was all a ploy. She was cheating the whole time.
Oh, cheating with the magistrate.
Oh,
I
It was
don't
all
like
just
this.
a ploy so that the magistrate could come back or could come and kill Malbas so he can get married as legally with her being a widow.
They sold his and Malboz's children into slavery and had their own. It's great. It's
I
great.
don't believe that for a second.
It's a great story.
You can't make stories like that.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is Thanos'
I'm actually a little bit better person than that. So that didn't. Shut up. So Fitz, you are going to the sleeping giant, yes?
yes.
Then go to the sleeping giant.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of just expected it to happen. I'm in the Sleeping Giant.
Cool beans. The brothers, you go inside, I imagine. It is an establishment that you can just go into.
Oh, of course.
Okay. The large dwarf lady is behind the bar. She is cleaning a mug that will never be clean again. There are a couple of people in there just sort of asleep on their arms at the bar, and then in the back corner under the stairs are Gundren and Nundro Rockseeker.
Keep mixing up their names.
Gundren.
Keep saying Dundro and Nundren in my head.
That's okay. I think it's okay.
I
Hey,
like
ignore the rolls that are about to happen.
Yeah.
like to talk to
Yeah.
Nundro and Gundren.
Okay. Cool. You can do that.
Hey, you guys.
Gundren will look at you and say, "Oh, hello, Fitz. How are you?"
Doing well. How about yourself?
"Oh, we're doing fine. A little early to be as deep in our cups as we'd like."
I brought the magic book.
And they'll both
I don't think I've
offer.
done that yet.
Huh?
I don't think I've done that yet.
No, I don't remember. I don't think you did. But yeah, no, you. They look very excited and offer you a chair.
I will pop up, requires my arms, just like grab on and just like hoist.
You're like 2.5 feet, so you're not that short.
I just think it's funny to describe. I'm also not 2.5. I'm 3.5.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's even better.
How tall are dwarves?
A little bit taller than halflings.
Like 4 or something?
Yeah, they're like about 4 something. Yeah.
Okay. Have you the mines yet?
One more time.
Have you checked out the mines yet?
Gundren will be making notes and counting money and all of that. He's paying attention, but mostly Nundro is talking to you. "Hey, we've not had a chance to get back quite yet. It's been a bit rough with the developments and all. We're kind of waiting for the folks to get in."
Oh, and are they set to arrive?
"Oh, towards the end of the month, maybe midway through next."
Well, do you have any plans to proceed once they get here?
To receive?
To proceed.
Ah!
The accent's a bit, the voice is a bit off today.
No, it's a little finicky connection-wise over here, so. "Oh, probably buy out all the booze in this entire establishment and then march north."
Hey, if you run out, Toland has some pretty good ale over at the inn.
It tastes alright, but it doesn't have that back-end kick.
Don't try his new one. Ask for the old one. The new one isn't good. Looks like tar.
Tar?
Tar. And you're supposed to drink it.
Maybe I underestimated him. He may have a future yet.
Oh my god.
So, other than handing over the books, I imagine you've already done some translation work, eh?
Done some what now?
Translation work?
Oh, yeah! So with the... Fitz would know this, I imagine, after reading both the books.
Mhm.
Would the Magic Forge be a thing that the three of us could start working now, or would we best be off waiting until everyone else arrived?
Just sort of going through the books proper and remembering what you saw when you were there. You could make it work, but it would probably be better to wait for a cleanup operation before you really started working on stuff.
Yeah, clear out the bodies first.
Yeah, bodies for sure. Now, something I meant to ask, did you guys actually gather up the weapons and all that stuff, or did you leave them?
Did we do what?
So,
I believe we left them.
okay.
I didn't hear what he said.
Okay. There were a bunch of, like, dark elf hand crossbows and stuff like that.
Yeah, we didn't take those.
Okay, cool. But yeah, the place is in a bit of a shambles, so you could probably make some super light enchanting stuff work, but if you tried for anything too big, it probably either wouldn't turn out or would break something.
Okay, Fitz will hand him the book. I imagine he would have like outlined important stuff or scrawled notes on the side explaining concepts.
Yeah, Fitz, being a wizard,
Higher.
would probably have enough of a I just had the word reverence for books as a medium that he'd probably like get a notebook from Barthen and be like transcribing translations or something like that over into the other one. So instead of giving them the old books, you give them the old books and two new
Oh yeah,
notebooks.
that's the thing that I meant to do and then I forgot to do last session.
Well, yeah. I mean, and again, since we're sort of outside of time, we can say that just happened.
Cool, so I just give him the copies? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you just give them the copies, or do you give them the copies and the originals?
I would just give them one, and I imagine I would give them whichever... I would give them the copy because I would put the notes in the copy as opposed to the real book.
Okay. They're fine with that. Actually, I'm not sure if they would be, but we can sort of retcon that as need be.
I mean, if they're not, we can argue about it.
Okay, so you hand them the copied notebooks, and they'll look through them, and then it's like, "Hey, these look fine. What did you do with the originals?"
Oh, it's just back at my place. I thought I'd give you these since I put all the notes and explanations in this one.
Oh, I suppose that's all. Actually, if it's all the same to you, is it all right if we maybe store them at the records room here at the Toll, just in case we need to cross-reference something in the future?
I can't imagine why you'd need to cross-reference when you have both the books, but if you'd like me to get it, I sure can.
Honestly, and no insult to you, but that would be wonderful, honestly. You know, I fully trust you, and he claps you on the back. Trust you 100%, but sometimes, you know, there's translating errors, and since we're starting from scratch, you know, it's just sometimes better to have the originals.
I'm sure.
Fitz will remember this.
Yeah. That's it's cheerful, but the undertone of fuck off.
And Gundren will look up and say, "Honestly, it's not that we don't trust you 100%. I want you to make sure you know that. We do. It's just we're reclaiming a family treasure. You know, it's something that's been in the family, sort of a dream for 1,000 lifetimes. But these are...
I understand the importance of family legacies more than anyone. So I'll get you the book.
I appreciate it. And if you don't ever be a stranger, like, we'll have these for old times, you know. So if you ever want to come back, we'd love to have you."
Coming back to Phandalin after the campaign is done. Something no one has ever done in the history of Dungeons and Dragons.
There have been times, but they are few and far between. Well, he's not going to be in Phandalin. He's going to be at the mines.
Are they not the same thing?
No. So Phandalin is like a day or two's...
Like half a day.
Yeah, a day or two's travel.
I do remember that now. For some reason, I thought they were just like right next to each other.
No, it's a bit of a travel.
Lost.
Oh yeah. Fitz probably, if they have nothing else to say, he'd do the farewells and you'd probably skip on back and get the book and then.
Okay, so immediately to get the book and bring it back.
Yeah, unless they have anything else to say.
Okay. Thanar, what have you been doing during this whole time?
As Fitz walks in to the inn, Thanar's over there talking to Toblin.
Mm-hmm.
Toblin, you should add a new special to your menu. I'm talking like a dwarf now.
Why are you copying
I couldn't do
that?
it. It just like happened. Toblin, you should add a new... I can't do it. I'm telling him he should add a new special to his menu. Tar and feather with his new ale and some chicken.
Fitz gags.
He'll look at you. He's just sort of he's sort of sad for a second. He's like, "Oh no, you don't like my booze." And then he's like, "Hey, wait a second." And
I like the ale.
and he runs.
It's
He runs over and he grabs a piece of parchment and he starts scribbling. He's like, "Tar and feather, yes. I could work with something like that." And he's writing it down. And he's writing down the recipe for the ale, and then making a whole bunch of notes. It's like, "Oh, that's brilliant, Thanar. Thank you."
Thanar just taps the side of his nose as he walks off.
If you come up with anything else, please let me know.
So you said Fitz was just walking in about this time, right?
Sure.
He would hear this, and I want to go over to Topa and I want to whisper, Did I hear you correctly?
That's a good question. Did you?
Did you say Thanar was brilliant?
I mean, the idea was.
Ouch.
Huh.
To be honest, I've not done enough business with Thanar to know whether or not he's always brilliant. He certainly had a good idea this time.
He's had a couple bright flashes, I guess. This is just a change of perspective, I guess. It was a charming word.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Fitz wandering off, sort of mulling over the concept of...
As Fitz says a couple bright flashes, Thanar is over there at the table attuning to the mace, and his mace lights up because he just turned it on.
Yeah, he holds it up above his head and it lights up. It's like ding.
A couple bright flashes, eh?
So, Fitz takes the books back over to the sleeping giant, and he passes Sildar on his way out.
Hi there.
Good morning, Fitz.
Oh God, sexy radio announcer voice. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Bit sore from our adventures a little while back, but getting better.
What brings you to the inn?
Oh, I wanted to see if you guys were up and about. Looks like you are. And he'll
I'm.
go ahead.
He'll do what?
Oh, he'll look over and see Thanar. He's like, well, I can, if you're in the middle of something, I can speak with Thanar.
Oh, no, I'm just taking this book back to the dwarves for a business proposition, but if you have something to say, I've got time.
Okay. Then he'll motion, he is going to motion to join Thanar then.
Okay, he'll follow.
Okay. Good morning, Thanar.
Why, hello there.
Did you find a new toy?
He's just gonna like turn it on. I assume I can just like make it start to slightly glow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Outside of
definitely.
combat.
Sure.
He's just gonna make it glow.
Oh, there's still some interesting artifacts laying around the world, huh?
It'll be interesting to see what else the dwarves can whip up once that gets up and running.
Yes, days long gone when items of that magnitude were commonplace.
And with their creativity, I can't fathom what they'll...
Yeah, well, actually, and he sits down, and what is one of the serving girls will come by. Actually, it is I can never remember her name. Hold on.
Sandra?
No, not Sandra. I can never remember.
It's Sandra, isn't it?
It's not Sandra. There it is. Hold on. Nilsa. That's her name. Nilsa
Oh, yeah.
Dendrar has come up, and he will order his morning coffees, and she'll rush off to get those. He'll say, "You know, you guys did us a great service taking care of the red brands. We've been sort of doing the paperwork and cleaning up after that whole mess. I've got a couple of questions for you regarding all of that. Do you happen to remember how many of them there were?"
Thanar's mace lightly pulses on and off as he thinks.
God.
This is beautiful. It's like a loading bar.
It lightly pulses as I scroll back in my notes.
You would say that there was...
I'm gonna say about total 12. It's probably somewhere between 8 to 12, but I could be off.
Okay. He'll
I only keep track of my own score.
he laughs at that, and as he's sort of stroking his chin. Well, to the best of our knowledge, the only real agents here who might have been able to. So, anyway, the reason I ask is there are no bodies anywhere.
Have you tried sniffing?
That isn't super helpful, to be honest. Obviously, we've exhausted all avenues, including scent, Thanar. But there are no bodies anywhere. Not out in front of the sleeping giant where you left them. Not in the catacombs under the manor. They're just gone.
We wake up at our VR tables and it was all a dream.
Well, nobody did put a watch once we left it.
Nilsa comes back to the table, and she's wearing fairy wings and looks like Tinkerbell. It's like things are really weird now as you've begun to see the Matrix unravel. No, none of that happens. Well, I mean, the real question is, who would take bodies? I know that Halia was an agent of the Zentarum, but they usually don't deal in, well, the dead.
Well, who would be interested in the bodies in the first place? Not like they have much use.
I mean,
Doesn't Sister Grail run the Braves or something?
she runs the Shrine of Luck. Like,
I don't know why I thought she was like the funeral person.
Well, technically speaking, since she's sort of the only like cleric person in town, the only the only minister, I guess, in town, she would probably have a part in most of the funeral rites.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing that I can imagine would be, I don't even know. Like, there's no one in town that would want them that I can think of, and again, the only agents who would have anything to say about it are already gone, to the best of our knowledge, It's just strange.
Is there anyone who lives around the town? Any tribal clans? Any necromancers?
At Necromancer's eyes sort of light up and then grow very dark. I certainly hope not. We don't need that kind of trouble around here.
Oh, God.
Who knew about the secret back entrance into the cave? Did you?
I didn't. No. To the best of my knowledge, nobody did.
You gave me the ability to just, like, detect magic whenever, right? With 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's a 10-minute effect.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I can't find whatever I named it in my character sheet.
It's a ritual. So you
Okay.
take 10 minutes and you can detect magic within, I think it's 30 feet of you for a number of minutes. It's in the spell description.
I could go to the caves and see if there's any magical traces, but I don't know if we'd find anything.
I mean, if you'd like, that's certainly fine, but it's just something for us to mull over. I mean, we have to consider what the future's going to look like around here. So, if you guys didn't have anything to do with the bodies disappearing, and he does like the jazz hands, like ooh thing, he's like disappearing, then maybe predators of some sort.
Predators would leave more of a trace. They don't eat everything.
That's certainly true. Anyway, I'll leave you to the rest of your day. Something I'll have to look into more.
Oh, thanks for telling us. Would the little... Oh, God. Fuck, what's his name? I would know. The little boy.
Oh, Carp. Carp Edermath.
Would know anything. He was snooping around the caves an awful lot.
Not Edermath, idiot.
I was gonna say.
Alderleaf. Stars my brain. No, you don't get the idea that he would know much about that. Like his big deal was that he knew the secret entrance to the manor.
Okay.
So, Sildar will finish his coffee, bid you all a good day, and head back to his rounds and office and all that fun stuff, sort of leaving you with that in mind.
Fitz will mull over that for a bit, and then he'll head back over to the sleeping giant.
Okay, cool. So we can
Probably just hand him.
Yeah. They will. They'll tell you that they'll take your original copies back to the mines with them, and they'll take your copies back to the mines with them and leave the originals in the archives section of the Townmaster's Hall. They have a records room.
Fitz very non-threateningly tells them to take care of his books, but it's very threatening.
They will look at each other and then at you.
It's like threatening in like a nice way. It's like, protect my books, please.
Yeah. They'll
And don't cut your balls off.
They will look at you, look at the books that they have just sort of tossed into the middle of the table. Like when you come back, your notebooks are sort of open and they've been like dog-earing pages that they think are important. And then they just like, Nundro reaches over and smooths out a page and closes it very gently. and lays it like perfectly aligned on top of another book and then gives you a thumbs up.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too, you guys. It's awkwardly walk out.
Yeah. It's like he turns to walk out, bumps into a stool. It's really awkward.
Oh God.
Okay. So we'll sort of scan through the rest of the day unless there's anything you want to do.
I feel like there's something I should do.
Okay. I mean, if you can't think of anything.
I would like to go talk to Sister Grail, I think. That's the last thing that I would want to do.
Okay. All right, real quick, Thanar, is there anything? And sorry, Face. We'll get to you in just a bit.
I mean, Flame.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Do what?
I'll stop by the inn and ask Thanar if he wants to come with me to Sister Grail's house.
Can she cure a hangover?
She might.
Thanar will get up. He doesn't really care, but he wants something to do.
Okay.
He's feeling pretty good now. It's all worn off.
Yeah.
I guess Fitz would go up and just like knock on her door.
Okay.
Or would I, unless she's at the shrine?
She is not.
Walk past her and knock on the door.
Yes, she leans out the shrine. She's like,
just like, hello.
Yeah,
over. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah. She's there.
Hello.
So you knock on the door. She will come to the door, open it up, and she is a lovely elven woman. She is wearing a long white dress. So Galadriel, her sort of white gown.
Sorry, I just thought about Lord of the Rings post.
Sort of long and not dragging the ground long, but very that way and flowing. And she has a stole on with the emblem of Timora.
Mm-hmm.
And she will start.
Shit.
Can I even and Thanar stabs her.
I was trying to make sure this thing's correct.
My lady voices are not super great, but let's see what I can do. She will.
Hey boys.
Hey boys, how are you doing today? No. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Fitzgerald. How are you today?
Go ahead. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Thanar, good morning.
Isn't it like afternoon now? Or
I was gonna ask that.
It is whatever. Shut up.
Whatever fucking time he says it is.
Afternoon to you.
And she will.
She like just woke up. She's like all disheveled. It's like, yeah.
It's like, yeah, something along those lines.
Weekend activities.
I mean, so let us establish something here real quick. It's like you woke up at 8. Fitz woke up at what, 9? You had breakfast and talked to the. It could be midday. It could be 11. It's like whatever, dudes. She will.
We like to go all pedantic on you.
Yeah, she'll offer to let you inside. Perhaps a spot of tea.
What kind of tea is it?
It is an Earl Grey, but it is flavored with some dried orange rind.
Oh, nice, very nice. Yeah, Fitz will come inside, have some tea.
Indeed. So, what brings you to my home today?
Oh, Silver came by and he said, I forgot what I was trying to say. He found all the bodies from the Red Brand people that we murdered in Cold Blood. We can't find the bodies anymore. And I was wondering if you would have any hand and I guess the funeral stuff.
She is pouring tea, and it's like you get to murdered, and she stops pouring tea but doesn't move, and then you finish the statement, and there's a moment, and then it.
It's not. It wasn't.
No.
It was like warm blood, but
And she finishes pouring the rest of your tea and sets the teapot back down and sits back, smooths everything out. Very
like
elfin.
Looks at the tea and he doesn't look up.
Yeah, very elfin grace. And she'll say, so the bodies of the red brands that you took care of, let's say, have gone missing?
Yeah.
Seems to be the case.
How very odd. I will fully admit, have a hand in funeral services of all denominations, though I am biased towards the Holy Timora. I had nothing to do with these disappearances, of course. I hope you don't suspect me in any regard like that.
Not at all. It was just concerning that their bodies up and left.
Yeah, yes, they normally don't do that. How odd. She'll
Do you know of any other magic users around these parts who would be interested in something like that?
She looks off into a corner of the room and just like at the ceiling and is clearly thinking for a second. I don't. No one in town, to be certain, and this is the wilds of the north, so I can't imagine that there wouldn't be something in these strange places, but I mean, nothing. No one that I know about. I can certainly ask. We all sort of have our connections.
Well, I'm sure no one will admit to it, so you needn't trouble yourself.
She smiles and lays a finger beside her nose and says, it doesn't matter whether or not they'll admit to it. It just matters whether or not they're stupid enough to get caught at it.
Thanar nods thoughtfully, and his mace glows a little bit.
Like your pocket starts glowing, and she's like, "What is that?"
Well, it's on my belt. It's on my belt, so she can see what it is.
Yeah. No, she still asks. It's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
He'll pull it out and he'll hold it up above his head, a little shine in his eyes. He's never owned anything magical before, or this openly magical, I suppose I should say.
She'll look at it for a second and say, "May I?"
And Thanar will hand it to her.
Yeah, she grabs it, and she grabs it in a way that looks like this is not the first time she's held a maul or a mace.
I can't wait till this goes on YouTube and I can take that audio clip.
And she just sort of hefts it like a warrior would, and she studies it in all directions. This has been specifically blessed by the light of Lathander, the Morning Lord.
Ow.
Lathander? God of the morning?
I know.
Right.
It's Thanar nods thoughtfully.
Does Thanar actually know?
I feel like he's heard of this person,
Make
but I
a
don't...
religion check.
More likely than not.
Okay.
Let's see though.
Okay, so you worked in.
I was surrounded by sailors. We're all scared of dying.
Yeah.
And falling off a boat and dying to krakens and all that stuff.
I want you.
Plenty of it. He's just not one for it himself.
I want you, facepalm, to Google Umberly. I'll type it out. That is a name that you would very much know as Thanar.
Oh, very much.
Her
name's the Bitch Queen.
Oh yeah, like you don't. She's evil aligned, but you don't worship her because you like her.
Queen?
But yes,
Dope as hell.
You would know Lathander. If you exist in Faerun at all, Lathander is sort of one of the big movers and shakers in the god realm. He is, I think he's neutral good aligned, but he's definitely good aligned.
Neutral good.
Yeah, neutral good.
You're right.
He inspires a lot of paladins, a lot of sort of holy warriors to his side. And this was clearly made in very olden times to outfit someone of a fairly high clerical status as sort of a cleric's weapon. And it bears the light of Lathander within it. And she'll sort of explain that to you and then hand it back to you.
Thanks for the lesson. You seemed no stranger to a mace. Did you ever go on any adventures of your own?
I still go on adventures from time to time, but not in a while. My adventuring has sort of brought me here to bring the town of Phandalin, which will certainly be growing now that the mines are reopening, into the light, as it were. Into the light. I sound like a priest of Lathander. But no, it is, it's been a bit of a while since I've gone off into the wilds.
Flame, scrap your character. You're playing a woman now. We're taking her on an adventure date.
Oh god, I don't want to do that.
I would have to make a character sheet for her, which I would do.
Speaking of going off, I don't know if you've heard.
Stop taking people's voices,
We'll be leaving town soon. I can't. I literally can't. Shut up. I'm trying my best. Do you want me to not do a voice? Because it's hard to distinguish.
No,
okay?
so help.
Really funny.
I'm
sorry. It was good.
I literally just can't stick to one voice.
It's
I'm
hard.
gonna ban you.
I couldn't if my voice wasn't so fucked up.
Here, mod me so I can ban him.
No, shut up. You're a bad person. You were saying.
Why? Speaking of adventures, we'll be heading out of town soon.
Oh yeah, you say. Where will you be going?
We'll be heading down to the water is very deep.
Oh yeah,
The
Savata
skies are
deep.
shallow.
Oh yeah, Savata deep. I love Savata deep. I don't get down that way all that often.
Shut up, Puffer.
Oh god.
Oh, water deep. That's quite a travel. That'll take you probably the better part of a week if you travel all the way through.
Yeah.
I'm no stranger to travel, but
Neither am
I'm
I,
not sure
but
how-
doesn't mean I have to like it.
She will. She'll stand and go to a scroll rack, which is on a desk, sort of in the corner of the room, and she'll grab one and bring it over to the coffee table and sort of brush everything aside and lay it out. And what she shows you is the map of the region. And she will point to Phandalin and then sort of trace the high road down. And she will stop at the Mere of Dead Men and say, be very careful passing through this region. There are many strange things here. There was a time when, now let me see, there was a wizard's tower in the region that petrified any who would look at it. They lost...
That's cool as hell.
And she'll laugh. I suppose, though, not for trade between Waterdeep and Neverwinter or Leylon or Thornhold or, quite frankly, anyone who would travel in that direction. It caused quite the drying up of trade in the area. People would have to go around for miles. It's sort of why the long road was established there. And she traces over to Tribor and then down to Westbridge, through Red Larch, and then down to Waterdeep. That is an alternate path you could take, I suppose. Though it would take you a fair bit longer.
Is the Mirror of Dead Men still a danger?
No, actually. I mean, it is a danger, but not in that way. As I recall, it's been sort of taken over by, well, the undead, but also by lizard folk who operate in the area. There have been strange rumors of dragons, though I can't verify any of those myself.
Dragons?
Yes. Any sort of swamp of that size would be a haven to... And she looks and says, probably, I would imagine black dragons. As long as you don't venture into their terrain, they shouldn't mess with someone as, and take no offense at this, but someone as inconsequential as a team of adventurers.
Well, together we barely passed 10 feet. I'm sure the dragon more than doubles that. If I were him, I would pay no heed either.
Fitz kicks there. But it probably doesn't hurt because he just hits his boot.
How does the Roadhouse maintain business?
Well, now that everyone is sort of cleaned up, it was Lord Neverember who moved and took over Neverwinter after a fair sundering, destroyed a part of the town. It was such a nuisance that he dedicated several long years to ridding the area of that wizard's tower, and now it's open, but the Roadhouse is sort of the safe haven for any who travel the road. Though it is no true safe haven, it's she will look out the window and say, "Have you been to the Sleeping Giant in town?"
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Imagine the Sleeping Giant in 20 years if literally no one took care of it. Imagine if Grista was even dirtier than she is. That's the Karnath Roadhouse.
I don't want to go anymore.
This sounds like a place I can look forward to.
What's wrong with you?
It holds many adventures, and it locks its doors well against creatures of the night and so on. It is the safest haven on the road between Leylon and Thornhold, but it's rough, to say the least.
Well, thank you for this information. Do you think you would recommend taking the long road, or is the high road safe enough?
Oh, that is entirely up to you. I suppose if you want to get to Waterdeep quickly, I would certainly take the high road, my apologies. The high road would be fastest. The long road has...
I'm not one for detours.
Well, then, it sounds as though your path has been set before you. Though the long road does take you through some interesting territory and through the what am I thinking of? The Desserin Valley. So that's up to you.
I don't think we should cut it off quite yet, Thanar.
Thanar looks at Fitz. questioning, wondering, mace glowing.
I'm just going to assume that your mace is always glowing from now on.
No, just when he's thinking.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Somehow
thinking
when
mace.
he attuned to the weapon, it like got linked to the thoughtful place.
It's either always glowing or it's never glowing, and I can't decide which is more accurate.
Wow.
And she will. This is like the first moment when she looks around and she looks a bit confused. What happened to Malba? I've not seen him today. He's not with you.
Oh.
He
Well,
had.
he had urgent business back home, you see. And he had to take his leave, unfortunately.
Oh dear, nothing too serious, I hope.
Well, it sounded pretty serious, but we're unaware of the entire situation.
Because I failed to explain it very well.
I think you pretty well told them what was going on, though, right?
You told them what you knew.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you tell Sister Garail any of the story?
Nah, I think we need to get going.
Yeah,
I don't want to make flame wait anymore.
Well, this
I
is
actually learned on the rundown, but
okay. So just the quick
not the details.
the quick rundown.
Yeah.
As you sort of work through the whole grimy details, she gets more and more serious. Interesting. I had no idea that his history was so unfortunate.
None of us did. He kept to himself.
Yes, he did. Excuse me for just a moment. And she walks over to that desk and she pulls out.
It's just like on the floor crying. He's like, I miss him so much.
She
No.
has dealt with gnomes before, and
He's not sorry.
she pulls out a number of items, some of which you recognize: pen and ink, piece of paper,
Don't recognize those.
and a tube.
Paper? What's
She pulls out a little yellow tube,
I
capped
know what that is.
Where's that link to?
in brass, and a yellow candle of the same color. She begins writing.
Where does that link to?
I'm sorry?
Doesn't it? Is it one of the transportation tubes? That's what I thought you meant it was.
It looks like it.
Isn't that one of the? Did those have a name?
Probably.
Is that one of the insert name here tubes?
Like a message tube would be what they're probably colloquially
Okay.
called.
Insert message here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. You're with the hold. Yes, actually it is.
Where does it link to?
She stops writing. She puts the quill down. She looks at you. She's judging, weighing some things in her mind. You can see the math going on.
Never mind. Fuck this bitch. I hate her.
She says, "Are you familiar with the Harpers?"
Am I familiar with the Harper? I mean, somewhat. What would
Yes.
Fitz should know at some point.
Yeah, I know what you've told us, but is Fitz more knowledgeable than I would be?
Yeah, Fitz. So anyone who lives in, especially along the Sword Coast, would know that the Harpers exist. It is very rare to know about one of their agents. You know that they do good. That's sort of the mission statement. Roll a history check.
Oh God. +6, no family now.
Okay.
You rolled average. Don't complain.
They
Yeah, it's better than normal for me.
you remember their mission statement, which is "We do good," and then as you think about it a little bit more, good sort of grows a pair of quotation marks around it. We do good. You know that they are good aligned, and they're always looking out for a balance of power between, and that no one ever gets more power than anyone else. They are for equality and justice in all regards, and they would generally work in secret.
Fitz will remain neutral, and he'll say, "How could I not?"
I suppose that's true. We have agents throughout all of Faerun doing good, trying to maintain a balance of power, making sure that no one is mistreated. And it sounds as though wherever Malba is from, he is in desperate need of our assistance.
I would say so.
I will write members of my order who will do whatever it is that they can. Perhaps how long ago did he leave? And it's been like a couple of weeks, something like that, yeah.
It's been about 2 weeks now.
And where was he going? Did he say that he was going directly, or was he
stopping by the hold first?
Maybe there's a chance.
Can we take a break after this to see if I'm not being broken into?
Yeah. And she'll say, I will write to members of my order, and perhaps they can send him some aid.
That'd be very kind of you.
It's what the Harpers do.
We would appreciate any aid you could give him. He seemed very distressed.
And she will keep writing. And then when she's done, she puts the letter in the tube, lights the back end of it, and it explodes in a shower of sparks. Like a cannon. Just... And she will say, it's done. I wish there was something more I could do.
More than anyone else has been able to achieve thus far, so...
Well, now that I have sort of exposed myself as a member of the Harpers, I suppose that you've recognized that there's a number of agents of different organizations here in town. I can't imagine that it has escaped your notice that Phandalin is going to be something big in the next little while. And we're hoping that by having watchful protectors here from the different factions in the region, we can guide it in the right direction.
Is there anyone else you're aware of?
Well, Sildar, of course, is with the Lord's Alliance. Has anyone else told you that they are part of another organization?
Yeah, Toblin's part of the Bad Ale Making Corporation.
She'll laugh at that. Say, I didn't know that their order had gotten off the ground. I shall report that immediately.
I think he funded it.
A new faction we shall have to make arrangements with. But, I believe...
Isn't Ettermath part of something?
Yes. One of you is paying attention. Ahem.
I'm tired,
It's
man.
not me.
You called Corp Ettermath earlier.
Yeah.
Fair. Yes.
I bet he's the leader.
She will...
Corp is the ringleader of all the factions in Phandalin.
So he told Thanar, so we'll pretend that Thanar said it, and she's like, yes. Thanar, yes, Thanar, Ettermath is a part of the Order of the Gauntlet, sort of a more military version of, well, all of us are sort of a mixture of ideas and ideals, but we're working together here. Hopefully we can keep this place from falling to the dark powers that generally assail anyone who starts something along the Sword Coast.
Sounds like you guys need a business meeting.
We have them quite frequently, Fitz. You
Fitz
will.
is like miffed. Fitz is miffed.
You will.
But he wasn't invited.
Yeah.
You will remember that Barthen called for me when you first arrived in town.
No, yeah.
If you would like to join one of our organizations, I'm sure that we can discuss something in the future.
Fitz's eyes light up, but then he's like back to neutral. He's like, I'll think about it.
You do that. Well,
Thank you very much for the information and the assistance you've been able to give us.
okay.
We need to get going to prepare for our trip.
Indeed. Well, prepare well. I'm sure Barthen will help you with that. He knows much about traveling the Sword Coast.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And she will...
Thanar will...
Yeah, she will walk you out, as it were. Help you get on your way, and then you are going back to the inn, or wherever it is you're going for the day. It is about midday, so it's a little after midday, so we can sort of skip all of those pleasantries. One more thing will happen before we sort of take our break.
Pep hands.
We skip to the evening. Fitz, you are getting ready for bed and changing into your fancy pajamas. And your monocle. How do you keep that?
Did you just say words? Because I didn't hear them.
Your monocle. Where do
Yes.
you keep that?
A necklace?
Okay, a necklace. Do you wear it to bed? I don't think it has a frame, right?
I think it depends.
I mean, it has a frame. It doesn't have a lens, right?
There's no glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's however he feels that night.
Okay. How does he feel that night?
I think he'd probably take it off.
Lay it on the nightstand.
He'd like right next, like in arms.
Okay.
But very close, but not.
So
He
you
wouldn't wear it.
lay it on the nightstand next to your bed. You blow out your candle. The room goes dark. You fall asleep. And maybe an hour later, something wakes you up. And your monocle is glowing a light green.
What the hell?
Just little runes along the outside edge are glowing a light green.
What language are they in?
You don't recognize them. There's some unrecognizable arcane script.
Okay, Fitz, this is fine. I think probably this is. He's gonna.
And they go out.
Gently. What?
They go out.
What? Fitz is gonna scan for magic, or I guess cast detect magic. That's how I would say that.
Okay.
Just in this room.
It'll take you, like I said, 10 minutes to do the whole thing. When you cast Detect Magic finally, the monocle does glow very faintly. And it's never done this before. This is sort of new. Roll me an Arcana check.
Oh lord. Oh, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Fuck.
Whammy.
So
Fucking whammy.
what are the different schools of magic?
There's
What?
evocation and illusion and
Conjuration,
necromancia,
necromancy, and
fireball, and
that's evocation. and
persuasion,
divination.
and
That's one of them.
descriptive.
Okay,
and-
okay, hold on.
And
It glows faintly of transmutation magic.
I don't like that at all.
But it's faint. Like it's flickering almost.
Yo, it's stealing your magic. Watch out.
No, it is not connected to anything. It sort of just lights up very faintly and then dies down.
Well, that's weird. Fitz is gonna
And that's where we'll take our first break.
Fitz will conjure like a stick and he'll like push it farther away from him on the nightstand.
It opens up and eats you.
Oh fuck.
Take 10d 50 damage.
Oh yeah, you die. You die immediately.
10 50.
He could live. He could live.